Hi everybody, my name is Tiffany, and this is my first ASMR video. I'm really excited to have been introduced to the ASMR community. I've been watching ASMR videos for about 6 to 8 months now to fall asleep, and I'm loving it. I finally got the courage to make my own videos, so we'll see how it goes. I decided to start off with a DVD collection. I love watching collection videos. I have a lot of DVDs. I'm sitting here looking at them on the floor right now. So I decided to split up my DVD video collection into genres. So I decided to start with my favorite genre, which is horror. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first video I wanted to show you is going to be this one. Silent Hill. For those who have not seen this yet, I will not give any spoilers away. But this movie I've always really enjoyed. It's based on the video game, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't had the chance myself to play the video games, but I intend to in the future. It's a really good movie. It's about a mother and her daughter, and they are, basically the mother is trying to learn more about her daughter's past because she's actually an adopted daughter. And they have a grand adventure of monsters and creatures, and there's more of the story that you find out at the end and things like that. So it's really enjoyable. I like it if you like kind of a little bit of a suspense. I'm not necessarily scared of it, but maybe some people will be. My favorite character is Pyramid Head. I think he is just so cool. And then the nurses are pretty cool too. They're pretty creepy in the movie. Yeah, I've always loved the story. I definitely want to try playing the video games. I hear so many good things about them. Actually, one of the ASMR artists that I watch did a video game collection video, and showed off some of her Silent Hill video games that she had. So, yeah. So Silent Hill. Next video I have is another one of my favorites. It's old. It's about 1980s, I want to say, and it's called Fright Night. It's a really good movie, especially for the older horror movies, which I prefer over the newer ones personally. This one is about a vampire, and living next door to him is a teenage boy. And again, no spoiler alerts, but basically the teenage boy has sought out to prove he's a vampire. It's a really good movie. The special effects are really good. I don't think they use too much CGI, if I remember correctly. It's all more real special effects. I always just love the cover. It's just so cool. It's so cool to me. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. I think that may have been my neighbor downstairs. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I definitely suggest taking the time to watch this movie. It's really good. It's called Fright Night. The next horror movie I wanted to show you is another old one. I don't really like this one, but this one's The Grudge. It has Sarah Michelle Gellar in it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but for those who haven't, I won't again spoil it for you. Basically, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character becomes like a nanny or a helper in a house, and she soon finds out the history and spooky things happen, and there's this very creepy character, and of course it has a backstory, and you find out it has some parts that are suspenseful, but I personally just didn't really like it. I didn't necessarily get scared. I found it kind of slow, but it's still a good movie. If you get really scared really easily, you would probably enjoy this a little bit more. So there's The Grudge. This movie I don't have a case for, actually, but it's just a cool picture. It's called One Missed Call. I'm not really too sure. I don't know. I don't remember how I came about to owning this, but I found it. I remember some of it. It's a movie about receiving a phone call, and then bad stuff happens, basically. There is a backstory to it that you find out, what happened in the end. It's kind of a goofy horror movie to me, not to be taken too seriously. I definitely wouldn't recommend it to those who are really, really into horror movies just because it's kind of corny. But if you want something to maybe laugh at, or if you get scared really easily, you might enjoy this. Alright, so that's One Missed Call. Alright, this next one is one of my all-time favorites. I love this movie. It is Cabin in the Woods. I hope that's not too loud. If it is, let me know. Cabin in the Woods, to me, is not just a horror movie. If you even want to consider it a horror movie, it has everything from your typical teenage horror movies to comedy to gore to... it has so many wonderful things in this movie to me. The first time I watched it, I had to watch it all over again because I was like, what did I just watch? Because it was just that good. It has basically a movie about teenagers, and like I said earlier, the typical teenage horror movie, but it's almost making fun of it by having its own story. It's the best way I can put it. I won't tell you anything about it other than that, just because you have to watch it if you haven't seen it yet, because it's just so cool. I'm going to see if I can get you guys to see the cool picture here. There we go. So there's the cabin, the cabin in the woods. And for those who haven't seen this yet and are wondering what those creatures are, you're just going to have to watch the movie. I don't want to ruin it for you. But I definitely recommend it. It's wonderful. Alright, so there's Cabin in the Woods. This next one is an oldie. I don't know if any of you will know what it is. Maybe you will. If you do, kudos to you. It's called The Changeling. It's a really old movie. It's really creepy, which is why I like it. It's about I don't know if he's like a doctor or I'm not exactly sure what he is, the main character. It's been a while since I've seen it, but he goes to a house and then finds out that it's haunted, and then he finds out why, and there's this big secret, and he basically figures it out, and it's a really neat movie. There's a lot of famous scenes in it that you might recognize. And the picture is just so cool. The wheelchair, the boy. For those who are into horror movies, especially classics, I would definitely suggest The Changeling if you have not seen it yet. Might be too loud. So it looks like on the inside. So yeah, that's The Changeling. The next one I have to show you is 5 films in one. It's called the Final Destination 5 Film Collection. So it has all 5 Final Destination movies. They're, not necessarily horror to me. I find them funny, but that's just me. I don't know if everyone's seen these movies, but the first 2 to 3 I liked the most. Once it got past the 3rd one, I just kind of lost interest. I'll be honest, I didn't even finish the 5th one because I was like, I just didn't like it. But I mean, at least the first 2 for sure, I really enjoy. At that time when they came out, it was nothing like it before, so in my opinion, so I thought it was really cool. It's got a cool picture. Alright, Final Destination movies. The next one I have is a Blu-ray DVD, and it's another original, or oldie. I absolutely adore these movies. I also read the book, and it was even scarier than the movies, I'll be honest. And this is the Amityville Horror. There's the house. This is about George and Kathy Lutz. They move into this house, and after they move in and everything's all happy and they love it, some things start happening to them, and they realize the house is haunted, and a lot of really creepy things happen, and they find some more history about the house. It is based on a true story. There's actually another one about the history of why the house is haunted. I want to say the DeFeo family. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm pretty sure it's DeFeo. The oldest son actually kills his family in their sleep. That is a true story. It's very sad. But that's the reason why, or the history of the house being haunted. But I love this movie because it has simple horror. It's not too flashy like Hollywood makes their horror movies today. And it's actually genuinely creepy, which is why I love it. That is Kathy Lutz there. And then her husband right there. You can look up the house in real life, and these windows were actually changed to not be the eye window shape because of all the public wanting to go to the house and go inside and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, there's a family that lives there now. But I just recently saw on Facebook that the house was for sale for like $1.1 million, but who knows if that's really true or not. This is the animal horror. This is probably my favorite horror DVD that I have. It's actually 50 movies, and it's all of the horror classics. So all the original monsters, all the original nightmares. And it comes in this awesome big DVD case. So it's all of the classic horror movies on the back. It lists all 50 movies for you. And I'm going to try to quietly open this up for you so you can see the inside. I'd love to know, for you horror fanatics, what your favorite classic horror movie is. My personal is Nosferatu, because I like the original vampire, if you will. So let me try to open this. I'm sorry if it's too loud. So it comes with a book, which I'll show you in a second, right there, and then all these DVD discs. It has a A side and a B side, so it's this big stack of DVDs in here. That's how they did that, which I thought was interesting. And in the book, it has suggestions on the back, more from this entertainment company. And on the inside, it has all of the movies here and so forth. And it has what disc it's on, what side of the disc it's on, a description of the movie, and whether it's in black and white or not, and if the movie's rated or not, which I thought was interesting because some of these movies that were made back in the day weren't rated like movies are rated now. If I'm not mistaken, the movies date back to the 1920s. The earliest one I see is 1922. So I kind of like the thought of having this little time capsule. I just love the old movies. I haven't been able to see all of them yet, but the ones I have seen are Nosferatu, Phantom of the Opera. I also saw the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then I still have to watch the rest. I'm trying to watch them. I think I'm going to take my time. It has 62 hours of classic terror. So this thing is really cool. Alright, the next video I have to show you, the horror genre, is a double feature. So it has more than one movie. It has 2 movies on it. And it's Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and then Freddy vs. Jason. Can't really say much because I can't really remember how the movies are. I haven't seen them in a long time. But I think Freddy vs. Jason was pretty cool. If I'm not mistaken, Freddy comes back again, and he awakens Jason, and then the next thing you know, people are dying. So, both are rated R, and they're just your classic horror movies. I personally, again, don't think they're very scary because I just love the characters so much. I'm the girl that watches the scary movie that says, "Kill her, kill her." I find it funny. I like all that creepy stuff. Yeah, I actually have to give these a chance again. I don't remember anything from these movies. Alright, so those are those two. I have about 5 or so more videos to show you. I wouldn't really consider these horror movies, but they have some suspense, and some of them at their time could have been considered in the scary or horror genre. I keep saying that, sorry, genre. So I decided to show them to you anyway. The first one's kind of more funny, like a comedy than anything, but I still love it. It is called Gremlins. And for those who haven't seen it, I won't tell you the 3 rules that you need to know, but you will learn them if you watch it. It's really cute, actually. I love this movie. I find it really funny. And some people might find it scary, I don't know. But this is Gizmo. He is the first gremlin you see in the movie. And then, as you can see from his shadow, he has a secret. So, if you haven't seen Gremlins yet, I definitely suggest it. Okay. The next one I've seen, but I can't remember anything from it. It's called Sanctum. As you can see, they're diving in caves. It's more of a suspenseful than it is scary. But I mean, some people can find that possibility scary. So it has a producer, James Cameron. You might recognize him. He's done Titanic and Avatar. So the movie itself was very, very good. The editing was good. I wasn't really bored at all when I watched it. And again, there's not really much I can say because I can't remember what happens in the movie. So, make some fun sounds with it. I do suggest watching it though. It was still a pretty good movie. I remember enjoying watching it. The next video I have, I thoroughly enjoy. It is wonderful. It's called 1408. And it has Samuel L. Jackson and John Cusack in it. It's not scary, but it definitely makes you jump a couple times. Sorry if there's background noise. There's a kid screaming outside. Sorry. I can't really tell you anything without ruining it for you, other than John Cusack's profession. He is a novelist, and he spends the night in haunted hotels, haunted houses, and he writes about his experience, basically. So then he gets invited to this hotel, and he spends the night in the room 1408, and lots of fun things happen. It's actually based on a story by Stephen King, so for those who are fans of him, know that this movie is probably pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. I've seen it countless times. It doesn't get old to me, and I think John Cusack does a wonderful job in it. Alright, so that's 1408. got about 4 more for you. The next video I have is called The Jacket. It has Adrian Brody and Keira Knightley in it. It's not necessarily a horror either, but it's definitely different, which is why I like it. It's about a guy named Jack Starks who finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is a veteran, almost dies, but doesn't, and then again finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then basically gets sent to psychiatric hospital, I guess you can call it. And then I won't tell you the rest from there because a lot of interesting things happen. It's definitely a twist movie with a twist ending, and it's definitely a movie you have to pay attention to, so you don't miss out what's going on because it jumps a lot, which I personally love when movies do that. I like when movies make you pay attention. So I personally love Adrian Brody. He is one of my actor crushes, if you will. Alright. This next one is probably one of, I say everything's my favorite, but one of my all-time favorite movies ever made. I think it's absolutely genius. And it's going to be Donnie Darko. It has Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal, which are both brother and sister in real life and in the movie. I don't even know where to begin to explain this movie. It's another movie you really have to pay attention to. I would suggest watching the director's cut because it has things in the movie that the theater version did not have that might explain what's going on a little bit better. There's just nothing I can say without ruining anything for you, other than if you like movies that are kind of, I don't even know the right word, movies that make you think, I guess, or kind of trippy, maybe. I would definitely suggest Donnie Darko if you haven't seen it yet. Amazing movie, but you might want to watch it once or twice because it's definitely something you have to pay attention to. Alright, got 2 more for you. This next one is definitely not a horror movie, but I guess it can be considered somewhat suspenseful. It's called Warm Bodies. It's about this boy and this girl, and basically it's a zombie takeover, and he's a zombie and she's not, and it's kind of comedic and kind of love story. Basically she's, I don't want to call her a sergeant, but she's the daughter of the guy in charge of the army, if you will, that are fighting in the battle against the zombies. And without ruining anything for you, a lot of things happen, lots of adventure, lots of running, a lot of comedy, and it's actually a pretty good movie. It's definitely original. I've never seen anything like it before. So if you want, a rainy day movie, I would suggest Warm Bodies. It's really good. Okay. Alright, and this is the last video I'll show you. Again, not really a horror movie, but I decided to put it in with the genre anyway. Genre. I don't know why I keep saying genre. It's a triple feature, so there's 3 movies on it. You have The Crow. This is The City of Angels. You have The Crow Salvation with Kristen Dunst. And then you have The Crow Wicked Prayer with Tara Reid. And it is not something I've watched yet. I haven't watched any of them yet. But my boyfriend got it for me because he thought I would enjoy it. So we plan on watching these soon. So there's actually nothing I can say about these movies. But I'm looking forward to watching them. Especially the history with the Crow. And the main character and the actor and everything. For those who don't know that story, I won't say anything. But I'm looking forward to watching these. Alright, so that's that. So those are all the horror-esque movies I have to show you in this part 1 of my DVD collection. I really appreciate you guys watching this if you've made it this far. And I'm really excited to be a part of the ASMR community. And if there's any movies that you saw that you like and you want to talk about, please feel free to message me or leave a comment. I'm really looking forward to getting to know everyone. So, thank you. Have a good night, and I hope you were able to relax.